Hello, sweet viewers. Annyeong. That means hi in Korean. I'm Christine from Kimbap TV, empowering you to live a happier and safer life, especially if you're a fellow domestic violence survivor. Well, today I want to reflect on what a safe home can look like. It's actually inspired by an icebreaker exercise I did at a retreat I went to a few years ago with a bunch of Koreans working in the domestic violence awareness space. It really helped us to feel that sense of warmth when thinking and sharing about what home meant to each of us. I'll start by sharing my thoughts, and I hope it will motivate you to think about what this safe place can look like for you. So let's get started. I grew up living in a small yellow house in Culver City. It's the first house my family bought in America. My grandparents, my mom, and my three aunts immigrated to the US during the 1970s and worked hard for 2 years to gather enough money to purchase it. I was born and raised there, and some of my happiest memories are tied to that humble home. Growing up, I used to tell my neighbors, Mrs. Matsumiya and Mrs. Sumida, that one day I would take over that house and make it 2 stories. My dream, American dream, was to live in a big 2-story house. I don't know why. Maybe because that's what I kept seeing on TV and in the movies when I saw happy American families. Well, when I went off to college, my family sold our little yellow house. I cried so much. By this time, all of my aunts had gotten married and moved out, and my grandparents were getting old. They said they wanted to live closer to their kids and near Korean markets and restaurants. So they picked up decades of the life we built there and moved to Gardena. The Gardena house never really felt like home to me. My Aunt Judy had colored it a shade of green that reminded me of pistachio ice cream. She also adorned my room windows with Powerpuff Girls curtains. I was in college at the time. I just couldn't get over my anger of my family selling the house I thought I was meant to live in for the rest of my life. After college, I moved around a lot, all over the country for about a decade. I lost count of how many apartments I rented, and the only houses I lived in were ones owned by my friends or landlords, which were all very nice, but also very different from my childhood home. During this time frame, the idea of home got lost on me. I felt like a transient, picking up my life every couple of years and moving somewhere foreign, unboxing just long enough to get that next job. When I met my abuser, I wanted so badly to settle down in one spot for good and find that comforting feeling of being truly home again. But as you know, my hope for a happily ever after ended with me almost getting killed. When that relationship ended so abruptly and violently, I pretty much threw away all hope of rebuilding a home like the one I yearned for so dearly in my childhood. It was around that time when I met my now husband, Matty. Before I knew it, he proposed in front of my dying grandpa. He passed away the following night. And I walked down the aisle a few months later with Snoopy by my side towards my new life that I never could have imagined. The home Matty gave me is a beautiful 2-story yellow house. He had bought it before we met, so I believe it's totally a God thing that I was blessed with it. It truly would have been the dream home I imagined and wished for when I was a little girl. In this home, there's lots of love and laughter. There's a smell of burnt cooking from my countless mistakes in the kitchen. There is a spacious backyard where I practice my golf chipping, and there is a staircase where I rush up and down every time I forget something on the other side. Our house is where family and friends gather during non-COVID times, especially during weekends and holidays. It's where Maddie and I watch countless hours of Korean dramas or our current favorite show, This Is Us. And it's where we play Animal Crossing until we pass out or shoot pool, where every game has to be rigged so that I win. And as I look at some of our rooms, I imagine the day when Maddie and I will have little ones, claiming their own rooms where they can dream as big as they want. The common feeling I get from both my little yellow house and this upgraded one is that of comfort. It's where I can be totally myself and know that I am secure. So, what does home look like to you? What colors, what details do you associate home with? Try to think positive. If you have a bad childhood or have triggering thoughts because of an abusive relationship, repaint the image into one you'd like to see, kind of like what I did with mine. As a kid, I visualized one day living in this 2-story yellow house filled with so many happy images I gathered from the media, down to enjoying a traditional Thanksgiving meal with a table filled with happy relatives. And that happened, except for this year. Seeing those visions in mind and then seeing it transpire in real life is really something. And I want that for you too. So I hope you'll take a few minutes, maybe chill with a cup of your favorite drink and just soak in your thoughts of what that happy home and life inside that home looks like for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.